the serene and picturesque town of Alleghe, nestled amid the breathtaking mountains of northeastern Italy, a harrowing tale of murder and deception unraveled. It was the cold, desolate night of November 18th, 1946, that would etch a gruesome chapter into the town's history. Welcome to a chilling true crime episode on The King in Giallo. Join us in this special true crime episode as we delve into the chilling events that plagued Alleghe, revealing secrets concealed in darkness and whispered in silence. Our story takes us to the serene Italian town of Alleghe, nestled at the base of Monte Civetta in the Italian Dolomites. The time was 2 a.m. when darkness cloaked the streets of Alleghe. A broken streetlight cast eerie shadows as Luigi and Luigia del Monego, a married couple, made their way home after closing their business. But this ordinary night would soon turn sinister as gunfire shattered the silence, claiming the lives of the unsuspecting couple. Authorities swiftly labeled the murders as a botched robbery, obscuring the deeper, more disturbing truth. These tragic deaths were but a single layer of a much more profound mystery, a mystery that stretches back to a fateful day in 1933. In the quaint village of Alleghe, nestled amidst the stunning Dolomites, life moved at its own pace, unperturbed by the chaos of the outside world. It was a place where tradition held sway, and the public authorities' decisions were rarely challenged. Such was the case in 1933, when the village was shaken by a tragedy that would set the stage for further mysteries. It's the year 1933, and winter's icy grip has yet to release its hold on this serene landscape. In the Hotel Centrale, a young and enchanting maid named Emma is going about her duties on a fateful morning in May. As Emma tends to her tasks, her heart is aflutter with the promise of spring. The air is still crisp, but the first rays of sunlight gently caress her pale skin. You can almost feel her happiness, that ineffable joy that comes from being young, in love, and having just met her fiancé. Her thoughts are filled with the tender memory of their recent kiss, a promise of sweet moments together. Picture that moment in your mind, that overwhelming feeling of having the world at your feet and the certainty of a boundless love awaiting you. We've all experienced it at some point in our lives, the sensation that anything is possible when you're cherished and eagerly anticipating the next time you can be with your beloved. But in a mere half hour, the world would shatter for Emma. Room number 6 at the Hotel Centrale, where moments ago she sang softly while making up the rooms, would become the setting of a tragedy. Her long brown hair, once radiant, now clings to her skin, sticky with desperation. Her smooth, pale neck bears the harrowing marks of iodine and blood. Yes, iodine. In a moment of profound despair, Emma, overwhelmed by the weight of her life, took a drastic step. She consumed iodine, subjecting herself to agonizing pain, only to end her suffering by cutting her throat with a razor. As her lifeless body lay on the floor of room number 6, a razor lay neatly on the night table nearby, a silent witness to the unfathomable tragedy. No one spoke of the iodine bottle, eerily resealed and returned to its inconspicuous place on the shelf. The blood-stained razor, a gruesome instrument of self-destruction, was left neatly on the night table. Why? It was as if someone wanted these ominous clues to be discovered, to leave an indelible mark on this enigmatic story. Emma had been in the midst of writing an unfinished letter to her boyfriend, and the words she never penned could have unveiled a significant secret. But that letter, too, was left untouched. A silent witness to the mysteries hidden behind the doors of room number 6 at the Hotel Centrale. Yet inexplicably, there was no investigation into this tragic demise. The case was swiftly, perhaps too conveniently, dismissed as a suicide. Emma's family and her heartbroken fiancé refused to accept this narrative. They sensed that something sinister lurked beneath the surface, but in the small, tight-knit community of Alleghe, dissenting from the official story was not only discouraged, but nearly heretical. The echoes of Emma's final moments reverberate through time, leaving us with questions and a profound sense of sorrow. A few months passed, and Alleghe's serene facade masked yet another tragedy. On December 4th, 1933, the icy waters of Lake Alleghe cradled the lifeless body of Carolina Financer, a young woman who had recently embarked on a new chapter in her life. She had married Aldo da Tos, the scion of the town's most affluent and influential family. The couple, as was customary at the time, embarked on their honeymoon to Venice, a city steeped in romance just 100 kilometers to the south. However, something unexpected occurred in the enchanting Venetian lagoon. Carolina, newlywed and far from Alleghe, made a startling call to her mother. She declared that her honeymoon was over and she intended to return to the village that very next day, leaving behind her new husband and the life that awaited her in Alleghe. But when the following day arrived, Carolina's lifeless body was discovered, floating in the frigid waters of the lake. Once again, the authorities were swift to reach a conclusion: suicide. They contended that Carolina, suffering from depression and prone to sleepwalking, had tragically drowned in the Alleghe Lake. Yet, even to the untrained eye, her demise carried an eerie air of suspicion. Mysterious, livid marks on her neck were dismissed as early signs of decomposition, despite the cold, almost frozen water making such a claim dubious. With that, the case was sealed, leaving the people of Alleghe in a state of uneasy mourning. And so, once again, Alleghe's authorities silenced any dissenting voices and sealed the case. The secrets lurking within the tranquil village were like ghosts hidden in the shadows. This dual tragedy, two souls lost in mysterious circumstances, would continue to haunt the collective memory of Alleghe, a stark reminder of the darkness that can thrive even in the most idyllic of settings. Years passed, and Italy went through tumultuous times with the horrors of World War II and the fall of Mussolini. The specter of fascism receded, but poverty and hunger gripped the nation. Meanwhile, Alleghe maintained its stoic gaze upon the leaden surface of its lake. Then, on a misty and foreboding night, November 18, 1946, another tragedy struck. The time, 2 a.m., and the night air is piercingly cold, chilling the very bones of this small mountain town. Luigi and Luigia del Monego, a married couple, make their way home after closing their business, their footsteps echoing through the silent, dimly lit streets. But before they can reach the sanctuary of their home, a sudden eruption of violence shatters the tranquility. Gunshots pierce the night, and in a cruel twist of fate, Luigi and Luigia are shot to death. Their tragic end is quickly deemed a robbery gone wrong, a gruesome but seemingly simple explanation. The town of Alleghe was gripped by a pervasive silence, an eerie hush that concealed the truth behind these disturbing deaths. Yet, silence cannot forever mask the darkness that lingers. Enter Sergio Saviani, a young local journalist with an unyielding determination to expose the hidden horrors. In 1953, Saviani's investigative work shed light on these enigmatic deaths, urging readers to seek justice for the victims who had been denied it. His article, while not naming names, sent shockwaves through Alleghe, ultimately leading to a defamation lawsuit filed by the Datos family. The trial that followed was a battleground of fear and secrets. Witnesses, once silent, now found themselves testifying under the spotlight of justice. Their testimonies were marked by fear and intimidation, casting shadows on the truth. Sergio Saviani, who dared to unveil Alleghe's darkest secrets, faced the consequences of his bravery. But from the ashes of despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. Ezio Cesca, a young brigadier from the neighboring town of Auronzo, was captivated by Saviani's article. He embarked on an undercover operation alongside his colleague, Domenico Uda, to unearth the town's concealed horrors. Cesca posed as a laborer searching for work, skillfully earning the trust of the town's people. A crucial breakthrough came when an elderly local woman, hesitant to share her knowledge with outsiders, confided in Cesca. The elderly woman, who had remained silent for years, revealed a chilling truth about the night of November 18, 1946. She had witnessed 3 figures fleeing a murder scene, and one of them was recognized as Giuseppe Gasperin, a resident known for his involvement in shady affairs. With the secret unveiled, Cesca moved to befriend Gasperin, ultimately coaxing a confession. In 1958, the police moved to arrest those responsible for the horrors that plagued Alleghe. But the unraveling of this mystery would expose a sinister motive buried deep within the shadows. Fiore Datos, a poor and ambitious man, married Elvira Riva, the wealthiest woman in the town, though older than him and harboring a haunting secret. Elvira had a newborn illegitimate child named Umberto Giovanni, whom Fiore had no desire to raise. He convinced Elvira to leave the child with an acquaintance in Venice and paid her to raise him. It was this secret that would set in motion a series of murders as Umberto returned to Alleghe, potentially to claim his share of the family's inheritance. Adelina, driven by the need to preserve the family's facade, was the one who killed Emma de Ventura, staging her death as a suicide. But investigators believe that Emma might have inadvertently stumbled upon the truth about Umberto Giovanni's murder. The family, considering their son Aldo a weakling, arranged his marriage to Carolina Finazzer in an attempt to restore his stability. The plan worked almost too well. Aldo, comfortable with his wife, disclosed the truth about Emma's murder to Carolina, sealing her fate. In the cold silence of night, Pietro de Biasio, aided by Aldo and Adelina, strangled Carolina. Her lifeless body was concealed in the frozen lake, and it was here that Luigi and Luigia del Monego stumbled upon the horrifying scene. For 13 long years, they remained silent, but perhaps their conscience had finally pushed them to speak. In a grim turn of events, they were ambushed by Aldo Pietro and Giuseppe Gasperin. In 1960, the court sentenced Aldo, Adelina, and Pietro to life imprisonment for the murders of Caterina Finazzer and Mr. and Mrs. Del Monego. Unfortunately, Emma de Ventura's case was time-barred. Giuseppe Gasperin, their accomplice, received a 30-year prison sentence. Aldo and Pietro met their end behind prison walls, while Adelina received a pardon from the President of the Republic in 1981, at the age of 73. The secrets hidden within Alleghe's close-knit community serve as a stark reminder that darkness can lurk in the most idyllic settings. Giovanni Comiso, an Italian writer, drew inspiration from these dark events in Alleghe. He channeled his fascination with the mysteries surrounding the Datos family and the deaths of Emma and Carolina into his book La Donna del Lago, The Woman by the Lake. Comiso's work delved into the enigmatic and unsettling nature of the incidents, painting a haunting picture of the town and its concealed horrors. His storytelling breathed life into the secrets and eerie atmosphere of Alleghe. Comiso's book, in turn, laid the foundation for the Giallo film, The Possessed. Giallo films are a genre of Italian thriller cinema characterized by suspense, mystery, and often gruesome murders. The Possessed was directed by Luigi Bazzoni and Franco Rossellini, and it brought the sinister events of Alleghe to the silver screen. The film embraced the dark and mysterious elements of Comiso's novel, captivating audiences with its atmospheric storytelling and suspenseful plot. In The Possessed, the Datos family's sinister secrets are at the forefront, and the unsettling atmosphere of Alleghe is vividly portrayed. The film plays on the audience's fear of the unknown, weaving a web of intrigue and suspense that has become a hallmark of Giallo cinema. The true crime events of Alleghe, the Datos family's secrets, and the ensuing creative works have left an enduring legacy. They serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can fester in the most picturesque and unsuspecting places, and how these tales can continue to captivate and unsettle audiences through literature and film. As the ripples of time carry us through history, the tale of Alleghe and its submerged secrets continues to haunt the depths of our imagination. The year 1771 witnessed the old church of Alleghe swept away by a colossal wave, its tower bell crashing into the abyss of the lake, disappearing into the depths. But the legend endures, a spectral whisper in the clear waters. On certain days, when the lake reveals its secrets, perhaps you can glimpse or dare to imagine the faint outline of that submerged tower tip. It lingers like a ghostly reminder of a time long past where mysteries hid beneath the surface, and in the hush of those quiet, eerie moments, the legend speaks of the old bells, forever entombed but never silenced. It's said they still chime in the watery realm, tolling in the depths to announce the presence of death and the memory of long-forgotten murders. So as we navigate the currents of history, let us remember Alleghe's submerged secrets, a chilling reminder that the echoes of the past can never truly be silenced. The waters may hold the answers, but whether we dare to seek them is a question that remains unanswered. Ladies and gentlemen, true crime enthusiasts, and fans of the macabre, I hope you've enjoyed this journey into the dark and mysterious world of Alleghe, inspired by the unsettling true events that shaped this town's history. I want to express my gratitude to all of you who joined me on this chilling exploration today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for your continued support. And to my new viewers, welcome to The King in Giallo. If you've enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. So hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join us on the next journey into the shadows. Thank you for being a part of the King in Giallo community. Upcoming content for The King in Giallo will be Episode 8 of the Forgotten Giallo film series, 1968 Part 2, plus more special videos for October and Halloween, including Dweller of the Twilight Void, a horror short written, directed, and edited by friend Peter Dorn-Ravlin, plus the premiere of a horror short I directed with my friends called Dead Feed. By November, I will return with an overview, review, and gialli tally for the 1969 Proto Giallo Orgasmo. Thank you all very much for your continued support here. This is Tanner Leeser for The King in Giallo, and if nothing else, I hope to see you next time.
I don't do many things, sir. I don't know how to fill a tax form. I cannot walk a dog.